Tesco. Produce it, process it, distribute it. I go make the dough just to feed my own. I go do it all.
This is Ghana Grows, and it is brought to you by Mastercard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Road Show Foundation. And we're still continuing our conversation with the head or owner of the Catfish Grill, Ben Ofori. But this time around, we're going to look more or delve more into the business side of things. But Ben, before we get into the business proper, since we just came from the kitchen, tell us, beyond the main catfish meal that you provide to people, what other products, catfish products, do you offer?
Okay, so we've recently introduced quite a few things on our menu. Now we're doing catfish fillet burgers, we're doing catfish fillet wraps, tacos.
Tacos? Wow.
We're doing catfish popcorn, we're doing catfish fried rice, we're doing catfish noodles, and we're doing catfish curries.
Catfish curries?
Curry, yeah.
What is that?
Oh, it's, we do two types. We do the coconut curry and we do the peanut curry. It's a curry is more like a stew, but it's in between a stew and a soup.
Okay.
And you can use it with rice. You can eat it with rice or potato dumplings or anything you choose to have with it.
Okay. So would you consider yourself to be in the restaurant business, serving catfish, or you are in the catfish business, and the restaurant is just one of the avenues or the vehicles with which you grow this particular business?
Okay, we started off in the catfish restaurant business, but now we're integrating backward.
Okay.
So that because now we've started our own farm.
Okay.
So now the farm is going to be the main thing for me.
Okay.
But it needs the outlets.
Okay.
So we are slowly transitioning from being a restaurant to a full-blown catfish business.
I see. And so how large is your farm?
Area-wise, it's about 11.5 acres, but we've only developed about 2 acres.
That's huge, 11.5 acres. Even though you've just developed 2 acres, 11.5 acres is still very huge. So, I mean, how is it like? You've dug a small pond in which you have the fingerlings?
We've got 8 small ponds.
Okay.
But small is relative. Each of those 8 ponds can hold up to about 120 cubic meters of water, which means each pond can hold up to about 8,000 fish. Then we have one massive pond that we can put cages in.
Okay.
And that one can take up to about 20 or more cages.
Okay.
We're in the middle of our second trial.
Okay.
Because prior to this, we had never farmed fish before.
Okay, so this is a trial.
This is just a trial.
Right.
We did the first trial, it was successful, and we are in the middle of the second one.
Right.
Yes, we've already done about 4 months.
Okay.
So we've got about another month or 2 to go.
Okay.
Then we can harvest.
Okay.
Then we'll assess how that one also went.
Okay.
Before we can now go into proper commercial production, whereby we can start producing for weekly consumption.
Okay, I see. That takes a bit of the pressure off you. But what have been the challenges thus far? I mean, since you started actually farming or rearing catfish?
Oh, the biggest factor for me is one. It's mainly the capital, because you have to invest for 6 months before you can see any benefits.
Right.
Unlike now, where you can just go and buy the fish and then make use of it. You know, so within a week you've got your money back.
Right.
But when you're growing catfish, your money is locked up for 6 months, and that's the risky aspect, because at any point within that cycle, you could lose them if you don't grow them well.
That's interesting, because I was going to ask you about the strategies that you employ to oversee and manage these branches that you have. You say you have 4 branches.
Yes, we have 4
So
branches.
what strategies do you employ to manage them?
The main thing is the use of technology. And technology, I mean, you have to be able to control and track and monitor your stocks. So we have 4 outlets, and we have 1 prep kitchen or production center.
Okay.
That's where we prepare most things, and then we distribute to the outlets, and the final cooking happens at the outlets.
Okay.
So, for example, we prepare the bangkun, we prepare the green pepper, the pepper that goes on the fish, the vegetables, the yam, all of that.
Right.
Those are all prepared at the prep kitchen. Then we distribute to the outlets. So it's like a hub and spokes sort of system. Now, you have to be able to track and monitor every single thing that you send to your outlets, so that you know what they have to sell, and you know that you can track and monitor your revenues as well. So basically, that's it.
Let me pick your thoughts, because this is a show that is geared at young people and hopefully turning the minds of young people and opening their minds to, opportunities within the agri sector. I want to ask you, pick your thoughts about, the broader agriculture industry, right? So what are your thoughts or your impressions about the lack of adequate people in the agriculture space?
Okay, when it comes to people in the agriculture space, I won't say there's a lack of people. There's rather a lack of educated people in that sector.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is, you can't leave farming now to people who are not educated. You have to bring a certain sense of a certain knowledge of business and how to do things to the sector. For example, the reason why I mentioned that if you want to be a successful fish farmer, you must have a strategy to produce every week. Why do I say that? If you have just 1 or 2 ponds, that means it will take you 6 months to grow that pond.
Right.
When you harvest, that means you have to sell everything. What will you feed on? What will you live on for the next 6 months? And the thing is, you have to be careful. If you produce 10,000 fish in 1 pond, and when it's ready, who is buying that 10,000? If you don't sell them all at once, you have to keep feeding.
Right.
And that's costing you more money, Right. And the more you harvest from the same pond, the more stressed out the fish are, which means you'll be feeding them, but they will not be growing. And that means, and when you're feeding them and they're not growing, it means you're throwing your money away, because feed has to convert to flesh.
Well, as we wrap up this conversation, let's come back to your own business. I mean, you're not doing this business on your own. You have employees who help to sustain the business.
Yes.
How do you manage them in a way that ensures the sustainability and profitability of the business?
There's a certain level of trust. And I keep using trust, but trust is not just basically saying, I trust you. Trust develops because I do things for you, you do things for me.
Right.
Or we both do things for the company.
Right.
You get what you expect, I get what I expect.
Right.
And I treat you, it's not like a master-servant relationship. I treat everybody as equals.
Okay.
Now, everybody has a role to play. So if you play your role and I play my role, I gain your trust, you gain my trust. So for example, one thing I make sure I do without fail is I pay on time.
Okay.
If I have to
Despite of any challenges, financial challenges.
make sure you don't have financial challenges, because as far as they're concerned,
Yeah.
they've worked.
Yes. So they
They've
expect
worked,
to be
so
paid.
they expect to be paid.
Right.
So if you make sure that, if you say you're going to pay by this date, make sure their salary is available by that date. Even if it delays a day or two, they will understand. But invariably, make sure they get their salaries. It builds a certain level of trust that, look, you are looking out for them, they are looking out for you.
Right.
Beyond that, you can throw in some incentives,
Okay.
To show your appreciation. So at the end of the year, something small, not big. Every year we try and give a small bonus. It's not big, but at least it's to show that we appreciate your efforts and stuff like that. And wherever you can, it doesn't always have to be cash. A word of advice here and there. Some people come to you, oh, they want to go to school, they want to do this. Okay, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? Okay, you can help guide. Okay,
Right.
try this, talk to this person, go here. You have a network. Let them have access to the network where necessary. If somebody has a brother who wants to go into architecture and you know somebody who's an architect and can help, you link them up. It doesn't cost you anything. So it's things like that that help you to keep some of your staff.
Congrats to you for sustaining a very motivated team. But I mean, from 2016 to 2023, that's 7 years,
Yes.
of growing Catfish Grill. What's the next 5 years looking like for you?
It's last year was difficult. This year has been difficult. I think we finally stabilized. The next thing for us is to get the farm going fully.
Okay.
If we can get the farm going fully, then we secure our supply lines, make sure that we're getting quality fish every week. Because we've had issues in the past with the quality of the fish.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that our fish, the quality of the fish we use is tip-top. And beyond that, we can supply all we need. Once we get to the point where we can supply all we need, then we can start looking at expanding again. We can start looking at expanding again. Because I believe we have a quality product.
Okay.
And I think we have the best product on the market. And I think we can compete with whoever. So the plan is to make sure that we can grow beyond where we are now.
Finally, before I go, what do you think are the future prospects for agribusiness in Ghana?
Just the fish sector alone is massive. So, I mean, pick all the proteins that we consume, from fish to beef to pork to chicken,
Right.
goats, lamb, all those things. We don't have enough. We don't have enough. And if you want to take it further, if you want to start processing to make it more available, endless. I mean, we have 30 million people, at least 30 million people in this country. And they're all eating every day. And they want different things to eat. It's huge. It's huge. And that's just on the food consumption side. There's other things that we can do and produce for export. So, for example, what's so wrong in producing our own chicken sausages, our own beef sausages, our own, you name it. There's room. And there are various things products that you can make from the waste and all of that we can use in other things. It's endless.
Thank you so very much, Ben. It's been an insightful conversation. But we're not just leaving you like that. We have a little present for you. So if I can have a little present here, it says Ghana Grows, which is brought to you by Mastercard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Road Show Foundation. And we are presenting this to the Catfish Grill. It's a special, how do you call it? Cushion for you. So this is just to say thank you so much.
Thank you too. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you
for
too.
coming.
Thank you. And there you go. If you've been considering a career in the aquaculture business or fish farming, I hope you've gained enough insights to start. Start now. It's not easy, but it can be done. This has been Ghana Grows Edwuma, brought to you by Mastercard Foundation in partnership with the Springboard Road Show Foundation. I'm Marba Kumsin. Until next time, it's goodbye.